Welcome to Vitamin B with Mohana. This is where we help you take control of your well-being. I'm super excited to have my guest today, a model, an actress, former Miss Supranational, and today an entrepreneur. I'm talking about Asha Bhat. Asha is a very well-known and popular Kannada actress. She has achieved so much in such a short time. Once in a while, Vitamin B with Mohana would love to bring you inspiring figures like Asha. There's so much to learn from her in terms of how she's led her life in a very holistic manner. So Asha is here to talk to me about her journey so far.
I know that success is exciting, okay, but it is also fleeting if you let it get into your head. But AQ is something that will take you a long way, that will not make you lose your sanity, where you can hold your own in any situation and carry yourself with confidence. High Table is an offline social networking app. Yeah. But for me, it's more than an app, it's more like a movement.
If you have an opportunity, go for it.
Go for it.
Because at that time, everyone's trying to sort of conspire to bring out the best in Asha, right? Be it her dancing, her singing, and it's just that opportunities open up, right?
No matter what you put on the outside, the glow only comes when you're glowing from the inside. Like, hi, how are you? Hey, dabba agbitida. Hey, sanna agbitida. I mean, are we still
like the problem is that when you're thin, they'll say you're thin. When you're fat, they'll say you're fat. You're like, dude, what should I be? Right?
I got Junglee. I landed Junglee. It was directed by Chuck Russell, the one who made The Mask and The Scorpion King. He was a Hollywood director. I'll tell you, because a lot of people thought I'm not a Kannadiga. Like Mumbai or Ansutte. I was like, Allah, Alliradaste. I'm Kannadiga. Pure breed Karnataka.
I can speak the language.
I love truffle fries. I love dabeli. You name it, I love mirchi, bhaji. But my mantra has been eat, but burn. And that's how I got Robert.
Nice. And that was such a big hit, right?
Yes. Hair, I do take my supplements. I'll make sure I oil my hair once a week.
Yeah.
I'm not very much into just follow this trend blindly.
Yeah. When you have space and time, what do you do with that, right? And those are the choices that people need to make about how they live their life.
If I can't be real to my character, then I can't connect.
Yeah.
And as an entrepreneur, if I'm pitching the idea to somebody, if I can't be authentic, I can't connect. And olegundu, horegundu doesn't work.
What do you have for breakfast?
Idli, dosa, oatmeal, that's it. That repeats.
So come join us as we sit back and have a beautiful conversation. So sit back, relax, and I'll see you at Vitamin B with Mohana. Hi Asha, welcome to Vitamin B with Mohana.
Thank you, Mohana. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
It's absolutely my pleasure, and it's once in a blue moon that we get people like you, celebrities like you, someone who's inspiring to come on our show, which is also pretty new, like I have shared with you. So
congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what's going on, Asha? You've been up to so many interesting things, and I'd love to spend time getting to know that. But how is life right now?
Life, touch wood, with the grace of God and everything, it's good. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Just busy with creating High Table, building High Table, and trying to balance the creative side that I come from, which is the acting background. I would like to say that it's been thrilling so far, but at the same time, it's always, you have to be mindful with the balance aspect of it.
Yeah.
So it's just keeping me on my toes these days.
Yeah, great. So maybe we'll start with that, right?
Yeah.
So what is High Table?
All right. So do you want the simple answer?
Give us the long form of it. We want to understand everything.
Thank you. So High Table is an offline social networking app. Yeah. But for me, it's more than an app. It's more like a movement. A movement to bring back the art of having meaningful conversations and making real connections. I mean, think about it, Mohana. When was the last time you said hi to a stranger?
Yeah.
Or maybe greeted your own neighbor or acknowledged someone in the lift?
Yeah.
Right? We're so neck bent in digital screen and space these days that we have actually forgotten what it is to connect with someone in real life. Yeah. Like IRL is the operative word in real life.
Yeah.
So that's the thing for me, like, I want to bring back the art of having meaningful conversations, go out there, meet new people, experience the energy in person. And it's very simple, like back then, when our parents and like they used to come back from their work after 6 p.m., like on the katte, or like talk to your neighbor, share a filter coffee, have a conversation. So much to talk about. That's also good dopamine when you talk about
So
it,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Energy exchange when you're happy reduces inflammation.
Yeah.
So overall, it's also, if you have to talk about it,
Yeah.
in the well-being space. I don't want people to be lonely.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about out there, so many wonderful people to meet.
Yeah.
And I know that technology is amazing, but nothing can beat the actual real life conversation.
And that's the opposite trend, especially in the younger generations these days, right? So people are not meeting.
Yeah.
And that's really the core of it. And I think you would agree that there is a lot of loneliness, genuine
Absolutely.
loneliness, right?
68% to be precise.
And that's
what
India.
data suggests.
India,
yes.
So Indian urban people are lonely?
Urban loneliness is actually a very serious thing.
And it's very interesting because I was sharing with you a while back, right, that we had a very senior psychologist who came and talked for an hour about loneliness. And it's a real thing. It's that people are not able to sort of come out of it easily, and they've sort of gotten handicapped in terms of what are my options these days. So it's nice to see that High Table is doing this,
Yeah, see, even I understand there are a lot of dating platforms. Yes. There are other event platforms. Yes. But is there a platform to just have a meaningful conversation with someone?
Yeah.
Or to just make friends? No.
So is this via an app, or are you all
Yes.
also having people actually meet?
We have an app where you can get the booking done and meet people in real life. Then forget your phones, forget about everything else, and just on the table you can have a conversation. You can meet like-minded people. You can actually meet a bunch of strangers. I mean, even that's fun.
Yeah.
But they're all verified strangers, obviously.
Sure.
We have our community managers and a whole lot of team working towards it. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful space to be in right now.
Yeah.
Like if you just want to, suppose you're new to the city, you're new to Bengaluru, you don't have friends.
Yeah.
Where do you want to make new friends?
Now, this is a very, very good reason as to why and how I can go about it. Right?
Yeah, you can just download High Table. We have a web app and just see what's happening. Like we also have like these recurring tables like Breakfast with Strangers on Sundays.
Yeah.
And that's like our the most booked tables from the lot.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
And that's tell me more about that. So people from outside who come in are coming more for it, or people from Bangalore also are attending?
As of now, we're like localized. We're in Bangalore. Yeah. But even in Bangalore, when you're doing booking, you're strangers, you don't know them. And everybody is a stranger till you meet them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So if you're new to the city, or if there are like-minded interests, suppose like you are an anchor, you just want to catch up with fellow anchors in Bengaluru, or I'm an actor, that could be one incentive.
Yeah.
Or if you are into gigs like, video editing and things like that, you want to make some quick money. Now that is another incentive, right? Anything and everything that you can do with the boundaries of a table. Yeah. So minimum 4 and maximum 10. Nice. Anything beyond 10 is noise. Yeah. Then you can't have a conversation. Yeah. So we really wanted to stick to that conversation space.
Nice. I can't believe we're in an era where this is a need, but it's so important and it's great that you're doing it because people are lonely. They want to come out. They also want to sort of find an avenue to actually meet others, right? So how has the response been, and what are people saying about it?
Touchwood, so far so good. We did have a lot of people who were new to the city, and then we also had 2-3 hosts who genuinely like meeting new people. Yeah. They were very happy. Like we've had, we usually say, okay, you can sit for an hour. Yeah. Like that's what we suggest. Like the table is for an hour. We've had tables where the conversations have extended till about 2-3 hours. Wow. They've ended up having more coffee and more conversation. And I think for someone, I think for me, this is my biggest success, that happy faces, smiling faces, more conversation. Yeah. And if a table extends beyond 1 hour, that means they're actually interested. Right? They want to sit, they want to talk, they want to make connection. Yeah. And that makes me happy.
So nice. And it's so nice to see you also having, sort of moved into opening your own thing, your own gig, so to say, in the startup world, right? How are you feeling about that?
It feels great because, see, one thing is I've always believed that in life, it's important to step out of your comfort zone. It was the same thing when it came to acting.
Yeah.
And it's the same principle I follow, whether it's being an entrepreneur or an actor, or back then it was NCC and all of these things. And that somehow helped me, like stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And like not to be so stuck in the phase of just thinking and thinking and thinking and actually not doing anything.
Right.
A lot of us get stuck in that phase of सोचते रहो and जब तक करने की बारी आती है, and then the opportunity just passes away, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
And I love that. I think so for our listeners, right? A lot of them know you here and maybe in few other cities, but I think our program is going to be, our podcast is going to be all over India, right? And abroad. We have friends who are following us and supporting us. So you have basically been a model. You've been an actress. You're a former supranational, right? That was in Poland, if I'm correct, if I did my research correctly. So that must have been an exciting...
to be specific, yeah.
So you've almost always been in the public, view, right? Public eye. Today, you're also an entrepreneur, right? So what are you learning newly about yourself? What are it must be a different leadership, set of skills, so to say, right?
I mean, definitely that the one thing that's taken me here, if you have to say, I would like to say that I'm not a fellow writer, but yeah, like you just say it's just like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of my life for sure. But the one thing that got me till here was patience and resilience. Okay, it's okay to fall. It's okay to take a hit, but don't stay down. Get back up. Probably like in 24 hours or 48 hours or 30 days, doesn't matter, but get back up on your feet and get going. Move. Because that's the most important thing. And regarding the leadership skill, I think the thing that I've realized is it's okay to not have all the answers, but it's important to create a space to find them. That's what we do at office. There's always an issue and we may not have the answers right away, but it's important to have an environment to create that space where the teammates or us, we can find it together. And another thing is I am their crisis hotline. So that's something that I've realized. There's a crisis, call AB right now. So that's happened. So I mean, probably like I've understood, like there's a strategist aspect of me that I'm seeing it right now, which makes me feel good about it.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic, right? That I love what you said, because leadership is about making the way or finding the way through the unknown.
Yeah.
So it's really crucial to do that. And that's what I really love about the startup space. Because I think I've shared with you before as well, Asha, I've worked in bigger companies and startups as well. And like the boom of startups just presents that everybody can be a leader, right? I'm sure your team, which is supporting you, is also feeling like each one is an owner and a leader in a company.
Absolutely. Right? They have to feel, they have to feel a part of something. They have to feel passionate about it. Otherwise, how can you build something?
Yeah.
It's important. It's not just about, it's a co-founder's company. You just have to only, the passion aspect is of a co-founder, but the working aspect is that of the workers. No, it just doesn't function like that.
Yeah.
They have to feel a part of the family. They have to feel the same passion. And that's when you can collectively build something beautiful and scale it.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Absolutely. And so what has been the most rewarding thing through this journey? And I must say, it's not a khichdi, it's not a little bit of everything. I think it's a natural journey to sort of start with something, and then you find those something called adjacent skills, right? That you know that, I can do this also, that also.
Yeah.
And aren't we living in such a fascinating time, in India and the world, that you can do 2-3 things. You don't have to just be in one career track.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one life.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead and do what you have to do. Like, what's stopping you? Probably your own head is stopping you. Probably your own doubts are stopping you. Your overthinking is stopping you. Yeah. We overthink so much. Like, should I post this on Instagram? Should I not post this on Instagram? Should I use this caption? I'm just using this as an example.
Sure.
But think about it. Like, it's even I understand a little bit of thinking is important. Reasoning is important. EQ and IQ is important. But the way I see it is, and something that I've actually given more importance to is AQ, which is adversity quotient. Like, that is a must and should skill of life.
I love it.
You face so many adversities in life, in every phase, be it your childhood, your teenage, your early 20s, and then your 30s. And what keeps you going? Your adversity quotient.
That's beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
Your IQ, yes, will take you places. Your EQ, certainly it's important when you're in, you have, it's people skill. You understand empathy and all these things are beautiful. But AQ is something that will take you a long way. That will not make you lose your sanity, where you can hold your own in any situation and carry yourself with confidence. And that is something that people have to, probably like do a lot of self-reflection, understand, look within, and all these things. It comes with a lot of work, but it's a very important skill.
I love it. I love it. I used to call it moving from one. Life is moving from one trauma to the other, and it's true.
True.
But I think you beautifully sort of have, assigned a nice term called AQ. I love it.
I'll tell you why again. Because a lot of these words, right?
Yeah.
Trauma obviously has a negative connotation attached to it. I mean, like, even still, people don't openly talk about the trauma and how it made them strong or whatever they felt, the byproduct of trauma. But I look at them as warriors.
Yeah.
The adversity, they bounced from it, they came out of it, they built something beautiful. And for me, that's how I see it, like adversity quotient, your AQ.
Yeah, it's all about courage, right?
Absolutely.
Like you're just dealing with life one after the other, and it needs a lot of courage, right?
Yeah.
So nice. It's such a pleasure to hear this as well, right?
Thank you.
So, I'm sure the listeners want to know about your movie journey and you as an actress, right? So, first of all, what happened? Like, how did you get into it? What inspired you? And where are you today in that journey?
To begin with, it started with pageant world. I was a Miss India, and from there I went to represent India at the international platform called Miss Supranational in 2014, which was held in Poland. And I was the first Indian to win the title. And from there, I came back. There was a big homecoming that happened when I had moved to Mumbai.
Yeah.
And then, when you win a pageant, you're the spokesperson for the organization. So basically, there's a lot of travel that happens in that one whole year as a spokesperson. You travel to different countries, talking about anything, like whatever the issues that we have, their own CSR activities and things like that. But when I was in Mumbai and when I had some free time, apart from traveling and representing the organization and moving and everything, I'm that one person, I don't like to sit idle at home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, I don't want to waste time. So I was just like having this conversation with my sister and my fam, and they're like, hey, it's Mumbai. You are a dancer, you're a singer, you've done theater. Like, why don't you just step out and give auditions? It's fun, maybe. Like, what do? You can't come back to Bangalore.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that's happening. You have to travel. Every month I was in a new country. So that was the case. And I was like, okay, chalo, theek hai. I'll start. And there was this Coke audition.
Coke audition.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
At Aram Nagar. Yeah. All right. So I just went, okay, chalo, theek hai, I'll go. And I saw this huge, there were 50 to 100 people in that line. And I was like, okay, fine, this is an experience, let's go for it. It's my turn and I enter. And I just realized the shot was of the hand and just the neck, you sipping it, gulping it.
Okay.
It was not even of your face. So it was for the hand model of the Coke thing. And I had no idea. So that was my first. I'm like, itna hi karna hai? They're like, haan, itna hi. You just have to pick up, drink it. And I had my nails were not manicured. I just went in thinking, kuch dialogue hoga. Maybe it's like the proper ad. It wasn't. But it was fun. So this was my first experience with the ad world and with the camera, with the crew, with the people. Because it was an audition room full of 20, 25 people. And casting directors, that's when I understood, okay, how do they function? What happens? And then my next thing was with Yamaha, because they were also our brand sponsors. I started my first ad with Yamaha. And then I was like, okay, this is fun and interesting. And then from ads, I started giving auditions to movies. I moved to movies, movie auditions. And after getting rejected a good 30-40 movie auditions, I got Junglee. I landed Junglee. It was directed by Chuck Russell, the one who made The Mask and The Scorpion King. He was a Hollywood director. Produced by Junglee Pictures.
Yeah.
What a way to start. And obviously, like Vidyut Jammwal, there was a lot of martial arts and elephants. It was a movie with a message. And my role was that of a wildlife enthusiast.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. You know, I have lived with elephants for like 3 months, shot the film. It was a wonderful experience. So that's how my movie career started.
Yeah.
And
Tarun started because you thought it was fun.
Again, step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I was like, घर पे अकेले बैठ के क्या करूं? Like, I don't want to sit idle. I'll go, I'll see, I'll experience.
Yeah.
And then from the ad aspect, then I moved to movie and I started getting good. See, for me, I didn't go to a traditional film academy to take any training. My training ground was the auditions I used to give. Every day, a new script. Every day, you're facing a new camera, new director, new casting director. Right? And the way they give you instructions, you have to be flexible, you have to be adaptable, you have to be able to switch on and switch off.
Yeah.
Right? That's another important aspect. So the auditions I gave was my training ground.
Interesting.
And then once I started getting positive feedback, because I wanted to be very realistic about it. I don't want to go about it all my years of just auditioning and everything. I genuinely want to know constructive feedback from people from the industry. That's very important because I don't have a godfather. There's not a single person in my family who's been a part of film industry. So we didn't have an idea. But I'm the first one. And sure, that's how Junglee happened.
Okay.
And Tarun sir, I think he watched Junglee, and I had also sung the KGF song on Instagram. So those two things aligned.
Nice, yeah.
And that's how I got Robertt.
Nice. And that was such a big hit, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How was that experience?
Wonderful. I'm grateful beyond words for Robertt. It was a beautiful journey. I'll tell you, because a lot of people thought I'm not a Kannadiga. Like Mumbai or Ansutte. I was like, Allah, Alliradaste. I'm Kannadiga. Pure breed Karnataka.
I can speak the language, right?
Yeah, I can speak the language. Namur Bhadravati. Like I proudly say Namur Bhadravati. And then they're like, oh, Namur Udgi. He's like, Howdu.
Yeah.
So that's how it started.
Okay.
And I'm very also grateful because they understood, okay, she has a talent of dancing. We should give her a song. That will bring out that talent of hers on screen. So they gave me Kannu Hodiaka.
Okay.
And in the voice of Shreya Ghoshal.
Nice.
And for me, that was like my dream. Like my first solo song, and there's like Shreya Ghoshal as a playback voice. I was like very happy. Like, it's important when they look at these things, they give you that platform to shine.
Yeah.
That's very thoughtful. Not everybody is like
Not
that.
everyone.
Not
right?
everyone is like that. They're
so
like...
it's always sometimes, the cosmos brings it together for you for that phase. And I love what you said, and I'm connecting it back to what you mentioned earlier. If you have an opportunity, go for it.
Go for it.
Because at that time, everyone's trying to sort of conspire to bring out the best in Asha, right? Be it her dancing, her singing, and it's just that opportunities open up, right? So we were, before we started the recording, we were having something like a very nice, deep conversation on just careers, right? So tell me about, what's next in the movie space. You've also started this entrepreneurial journey, right? So what's your feeling? What can we learn from that?
Learn from that? I don't know what learning people would take, but I took a big risk of moving away from films for almost a year and a half to build High Table.
Yeah.
That was a calculated risk. Because I thought, like, when you're building something from scratch and creating something, you need to have that laser sharp focus. And I wanted to give that to High Table. I wanted the baby to live and breathe and rise to the surface. So that's why I took a good year and a half.
Yeah.
I withdrew myself from the films, focused completely on High Table. Now High Table is living and breathing, and it's good to go, and it's already doing well, touch wood. So I think now it's time to get back to films.
Yeah.
That's something important.
Great. And like you were saying, right, when you have space and time, what do you do with that, right? And those are the choices that people need to make about how they live their life, whether it's starting a company, whether it's another movie, right?
So see, I'm going to be very honest, and for me, okay, middle class upbringing and everything, fair enough. So we also think like about stability and how to, build something for yourself and how to save and secure your family and things like that. So when I was actually onto my third film, which was Ori Deoda, it was my Telugu debut. The thoughts started creeping in like, okay, one movie a year, Asha, and the rest of the year there's a lot of hustle, bustle, and struggling, and get the right role, get the right, script. You can't do, like, for me, I didn't want to do just anything and everything that fell into my lap. That's also one thing. I was selective, but at the same time, I was like, okay, jam nahi raha hai. One movie a year, practically, I don't think, I need to literally build something that's concrete. What do you do for the rest of the time when you're not shooting something? So that's when I was just discussing this idea with my co-founder Anil, and I was telling him, bro, like, I really have to come up with something and like think about starting something, to safeguard everything in my life. We was just having an honest conversation, and he was like, I have this idea, think about it. I wanted to start a vada pav dukan.
And those things are, we don't realize, right? They are actually magical businesses, right? The most boring businesses are the most magical businesses.
And then he was also like, hey, think big. Yeah. You can do that. And I was like, okay, fine. And then there was this idea, and I was like, okay, I think we can do this. There was an exchange of things, okay, plans and action and everything. And then that's how we were like, okay, are we seriously doing this?
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I'm all in. Let me just plan. Let us get a structure in place. Let us figure out the finances, investors, this, that, everything that goes on into creating a startup you're aware of. So that process began 2023 September.
Yeah. Okay. And it's come this distance, right?
Yes.
Very nice. Yes. So continuously you've had a lot of success, right? A lot of times we hear stories where success is something that not everyone can deal with well. So how did you handle success?
I till date don't know what does handling success mean. I'll tell you why. I know that success is exciting, okay, but it is also fleeting if you let it get into your head. So somehow, touch wood, I've been blessed that I'm surrounded with amazing friends and, of course, a family. And somewhere down the line, my training from NCC and everything has helped me stay grounded. Like, for me, it is very important that who I am as a person is more important than what I achieve.
Nice.
And I've always followed this principle. Be it NCC, be it films, or be it now as a startup co-founder. If I wake up, I look at myself in a mirror, I have to be able to find that validation from within and not with what I do.
Yeah.
And I think I would like to say that principle has kept me grounded, followed by family and friends who are like, hey, you know,
they always keep you to who you are, right?
Yeah,
hold you
absolutely.
to who you are.
Absolutely.
So that's very nice. And it's, I always observe, okay, like very successful people who've had a very long career, they tend to say this, that I know myself, right? Because in difficult situations or when you're tempted to do 5 things, you should know your values, right? You should know that that's guiding you.
I mean, that's self-awareness.
Yeah.
And I think one should always take some time from their busy schedule, from the hustle bustle, to know yourself. We're always busy with, okay, I want to know more about this person, I want to know more about that person, chase something, do this, do that. It's important to look within, know yourself, be aware of what's happening in your mind, in your body, and most importantly, your soul.
Yeah. And how has that helped you deal with certain failures? I'm sure as a human being, everyone goes through a lot.
Absolutely.
And when you've had those kind of opportunities, some things might not have gone well, right? So how have you been able to deal with failure in principle?
See, failures are like plot twists in life. Difficult? Yes. End of the world? No. So it's just like you trivialize these things, right? Okay, failure hai, theek hai. It's not that's like sirf tumhare saath ho raha hai. Happens to everyone. May not be in the same scale as yours, or maybe something more intense with them. That depends. I'm not saying, I'm not comparing, but these are the plot twists in life that at times make you a lot more than what success can make you.
Yeah.
So that's very important to identify.
Yeah, and when I connected back to your previous point, I guess that's when you pause and you have an opportunity to pause and reflect,
Yes.
right? What
Yes.
went wrong here? How can I redo things?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those are your mantras to life. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I see, again, I don't like it, I'm not preaching here, but it's very important to just like, ठीक है, you're just like this tiny little atom in this whole universe. It happens to everyone. You have to feel it, go through it. It's okay. You want to cry about it, cry to a friend, cry to yourself. You want to, I don't know, like whatever your coping mechanism is, like do it.
Yeah.
Feel it, go through it, but come out of it.
Yeah.
Get back up on your feet. Get going.
I love
That's
it.
important.
I love it. Because a lot of young people who are watching need these messages, It's not impossible. And we are a society, unfortunately, which is ridden by depression and in spite of so many opportunities, right? So messages like this are very powerful, Asha. So thanks for sharing them as well,
Thank
right?
you.
You're opening up to people who are listening to you, so it's great.
Sure. I mean, like, see, depression again is clinical. I can't say, I mean, I am not the right person to talk about it because it's beyond their control when it gets clinical. But all I can say is don't be afraid to take help.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to take help. It's not a taboo. If something is not okay, please take help and work on it. Like whatever it is, do not be afraid to take that step towards a psychiatrist. It's very important.
Great. So we'll move to a section which, I think is just so aligned to a larger purpose of the podcast as well, right? Just all about your well-being. From years that you've been non-stop traveling around the world, you were telling me every month you were in a different country I'm sure it's been stressful. How have you been able, and we'll break it into different parts.
Okay,
so that, it's very targeted questions, etc.
Okay.
How have you managed your diet? And in that also I have two questions. So in the space of food, which is very important, it's almost a spiritual experience, right? What you put in your body. What are the things that you must eat? Okay, let me put it this way. What foods do you ensure you eat?
Okay, your first question. I'm actually the wrong person to be answering this because if my family will also watch this podcast, if I say I eat all homemade meals and good food, they're like, what? I'll get a call. No way. What are those Swiggy orders for then? No, see, honestly, I'm a foodie. I'm a vegetarian foodie. But luckily, I don't have sweet tooth. So I am not a fan of chocolates. I don't like ice creams. So
okay,
yeah, that's gone. That scenario let's not consider. But I love fried food.
Everything that people are not going to expect, right?
I love my samosa pav, vada pav. I love truffle fries. I love dabeli. You name it. I love mirchi bhaji, bonda soup. You name it. I love it. Okay, but my mantra has been eat but burn.
Yeah.
Like in limit, obviously. Like I'm not saying I'll eat 5 vada pav in a day.
Yeah.
No, I would actually, if I feel like I'll have to.
Yeah.
But I know that I have to go back and at least burn it.
Yeah.
So, but that should be consistent. Like I have been consistent with working out for years now. Now that's like a muscle memory. So, so I eat, I burn.
Nice.
I eat, I burn. I don't cut down on anything because then again, I don't feel good about, not having to, treat myself and things like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's something that I've maintained. But when I'm during a shoot or like to, if you have to say, my breakfast is pretty much the same.
Like what do you have for breakfast?
Idli, dosa, oatmeal. That's it. That repeats. Idli, dosa, oatmeal is what repeats.
And they're actually very healthy.
I want my carbs in the morning. I want my cup of filter coffee in the morning. I do drink a glass of warm water with lemon and honey in the morning. That's about it. No added greens, nothing. It's just these 3 things, which has been like on my menu for years now. Yeah. I don't play around with my breakfast.
Right.
So this is something that's worked beautifully for me. I love dal rice, rasam rice, a lot of pulses. Rajma, masoor dal, maybe mix all the dal and make a dal. I love dal, chawal. Not jeera, not ghee, just plain chawal, dal with a nice scoop of ghee on top of it and a pickle on the side.
Yeah.
I'm sorted.
Nice.
So that's
the thing, right? See, this is it doesn't have to be that hard
yeah.
to be fit. It's a combination of getting your exercise and eating optimally, right? It could be probably a lot of your own land's food. Like in Karnataka here, we eat a lot of idli, we eat dosa.
Yeah.
Somewhere else it could be parotha. But then what are you doing otherwise to push your body, right?
See, a lot of us, we just think that sirf workout karne se we lose weight or sirf diet karne se. No, it's a combination. You know what suits your body.
Yeah.
You know how much to eat, what your body can take. So I know my body can actually take these things and have been consistent with that.
Yeah.
And that happens. And here and then when I step out, I indulge myself in fried food. I'm not saying, oh, I've cut down this and cut down that. No, I don't want to lie to my viewers. I eat, but I burn.
Yeah.
Every day, even when I'm shooting, if I can get even 20 minutes, I'll do it in my room, or I'll probably do it in the hotel gym.
Yeah.
I'll just call up my trainer. He'll either be on video call, he'll like, ma'am, do this, do that, these, or he'll give me a set of workout on WhatsApp and I follow that.
So what do? Do you go to the gym typically? What's your routine in terms of exercise?
I love to mix it up.
Yeah.
I love weight training. I do mixed martial arts.
Nice.
I like to do dancing as well. That's my most favorite thing. So it's I shock my body. I just don't want to put it into like just do this and just do that, because I don't want it to lose its flexibility as well. So probably like there's these yoga days, and then there's weight training, then there's dancing, a lot of movements. Basically, get some form of movement in your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Eat reasonably. Don't have to cut yourself completely unless you have issues like diabetes or cholesterol and things like that. Now then, there can be a nutritionist on board. They can tell you what to eat, what not to eat.
Yeah.
But touch wood, if you're on the safe zone and whatever, if you want to maintain that, follow it. Stick to jo banta hai wahan pe. It's always like the classics always help.
I love what you said, that know your tolerance.
Yeah.
It's super important, right? Some bodies can't manage with what you're saying. So we're not saying that use this as a mantra, but it worked for you and you generally keep yourself very active, right?
And I have to give credit to my parents also. Genes also play a very important role.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it would be wrong on me, my part, if I don't thank them. Like, thank your Mappa for like good genes. But then again, it's because it's a gift. I have to treasure it. That's why I stay consistent. I make sure that I move.
Yeah.
I eat everything.
Nice. Okay.
All things veg.
Yeah, great. But thank you for being honest on that, right?
Of course,
really,
I have
really
to
honest about it. Yeah. And what about your skin and hair care? Nowadays, it's such a big thing. And I'll tell you, like, if we just take a step back, right? Everything is about fillers, Botox. You can see that people have done it. It's not impossible. People can do it. It's their choice. But is that the only way in that sense, in that backdrop of that world, right? How can we, on a daily basis, help our viewers understand how to take care, right? So what has helped you in the process?
See, Botox and fillers and everything is again like subjective in each to its own. Na?
Yes.
If you want to do it, you do it. But that's not like a comparison metric to anything.
Yeah.
Like your skin, ultimately, no matter what you put on the outside, the glow only comes when you're glowing from the inside. When there's an alignment of your mind, body, soul.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful energy, and the energy reflects in everything. Energy reflects in everything that you do, and even without makeup you can actually glow if you're feeling really good from within. And this is something that I've noticed.
And those meditators, right, when you see them, you're like, how are you glowing?
There's a word for that. I mean, obviously chi is energy, right? That's one thing, but it's the glow is very different than the products that you use. So it's I look at all these things in that manner. For me, that's very important. And again, I know it's very cliche, but hydration is actually the key. Hydration is the key. But my skincare routine, if you ask me, it's very minimal but effective. I cleanse, I tone, I moisturize, I wear my SPF, and I step out. That's it. That's it. And then if I have today I'm shooting for a podcast, I have my makeup on. I'm shooting for a film or an interview or anything, then I have my makeup on. If I'm not shooting anything, then I don't wear makeup. At home, I don't wear makeup. If I'm even stepping out to buy groceries, I don't wear makeup. And I don't wear makeup and go to bed. I make sure I cleanse it at night. That's like a really bad habit to just go to bed wearing your makeup on.
And it's such a simple thing, right? To protect your skin. Over the years, you'll see the difference.
Right? Absolutely. And honestly, with the right, like, if you're like working out, if you're eating right, if you're feeling good, trying your best, you will glow no matter what. And
I
that
love it.
glow is like unmatched.
I
Like
love
no
it.
Botox can actually help you with that glow.
And it is true. Breathwork, that's a whole different concept that we can get into for hours,
But
right?
that helps.
It helps a lot. Just sitting, chanting, do your own stuff, but just breathe correctly.
Even breathe
right?
in, breathe out.
Yeah,
For
take some
5
time.
minutes
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
That works magic. It improves, it regulates your nervous system. And it's a beautiful thing when you have a regulated nervous system. A lot of people these days don't have a regulated nervous system.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's important.
And they're very stressed, right? Generally, people are very stressed. All that shows. And then your makeup is not always help, right? Yeah.
See, again, if you are on your periods and things like that, if it's hormonal, if you're PMSing, acne popping up on your skin, that's normal, yeah. That's human. That's called being human.
Yeah.
Why do you want to hide it?
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, even I don't understand these people. As soon as they meet you, rather than greeting you, hi, hello, hey, what's that on your face? अरे यार ऐसे बोल रहे हो जैसे कि पहले कभी एक्ने नहीं देखा शक्ल पे. You know, like, hi, how are you? Hey, धब्बा आगबिಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ? Hey, सಣ್ಣ आगबिಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ? I mean, are we still like
But
greeting
the problem
people?
is that when you're thin, they'll say you're thin. When you're fat, they'll say you're fat. You're like, dude, what should I be, right?
Like, why are we still stuck up with greeting people like that?
Based on how they look.
ಸಣ್ಣ ದಪ್ಪ ಮುಖದ ಮೇಲೆ acne ಇಲ್ಲ ಓ I'm like ಅಯ್ಯೋ.
The other thing is
Get over it.
ಕಪ್ಪ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ. That means you become dark.
Yeah.
It's a big crime, no, to be a little tanned. So
I'm like,
those
why?
are things. Yeah.
People think like that. I mean, like, look at the color, beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's just amazing. It's exotic. It's amazing. Like, I don't know why people are still stuck up with kappugagidya, dappagagidya, sannagagidya, mukad mele acne bandide. ಈಗ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಅಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಏನೋ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಖುಷಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಶೋಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಆನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲಮೇಷನ್. Yes or no?
Yeah, of course.
And rather than asking, hey, are you happy? How are you doing? When people actually take this route for like these small talks, I am just look at them like, huh?
Tune out, right?
Yeah, like, seriously, are we still using these forms to greet people? Amuses
it's
me.
so true, and it just continues. All our life we've faced this.
Yeah, let's be mindful anta naan heladu.
And the good thing is, like, if we choose not to do it to another person,
Exactly.
and that's the only way you can change this whole
Exactly.
cycle.
Yeah. It, like, be mindful, na? Be kind, be mindful. Everybody is going through something in their life. There's not a single human being who's not facing some kind of problem right now.
Yeah, of course.
Why can't you just be kind to them when you meet them?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. So coming back to the question, right? What about hair? What's your philosophy around that?
Hair, I do take my supplements. I do take my biotin and zinc supplements.
It helps?
It's helped me.
That's the thing, right? It's helped you in your context.
It's
because
helped me because I've been taking it for about 5 years now. So that's something that I do on the multivitamin side. Hair I take because, you know, as you age and everything, and if you're constantly traveling, you're exposed to different minerals in water. Hard water, soft water, and, you know, in Delhi I might not like the water. In Bengaluru, a lot of hair fall. All of those things. So that is something, because, and you can't find these micro nutrients in all kinds of food every day. Maybe not in that how do I say, in that percentage quantity. Right? That's why I take multivitamins for my hair. I'll make sure, like, I oil my hair once a week.
Yeah, so oiling works, no? There's a lot of people who say, they say, like, I had a dermatologist who said it doesn't work. I said, but I think it works, you know.
You know what? When I put this hot oil and just like rub it on my scalp, it helps with the blood circulation, makes you feel a little better. Maybe that's how we are also thinking it will work. At least it's helped me. I mean, I've not had hair fall just because I've oiled my hair. But then again, it's like subjective. Like, it's worked on me.
But it's a timeless tradition in India, right? And when you do that frequently, when you oil your hair twice, everybody can experiment, right? And we've all damaged our hair sufficiently. But when you oil it, it grows faster. It's not psychological. There is something that happens, right? And I don't know, Asha, because a lot of trends come and go.
Trends,
like tuppa, right? Ghee. More than a decade back, the US said, "Oh my God, it's bad for your cholesterol, etc."
Now they're selling organic ghee.
Clarified butter is in all their racks, right, in the supermarket. And there's enough studies to say even a diabetic person can have ghee.
Hmm.
So similarly, I'm wondering if, your traditional coconut oil and all those herb oils, they do make a difference. So
I mean, I like classics, what has
Yeah.
been tried and tested. I'm not very much into just follow this trend blindly.
yeah,
Hair and skin is something that you also have to test it out for a period of time. You don't get overnight instant results with hair and skin, right?
Yeah.
Each to its own. You need to know like what works for you.
yeah,
Oiling once a week has worked. So I have my friend Apurva who usually like boils rosemary and then strains it.
okay.
She puts it in like water with that spray. She puts in the fridge. It's all cold. And she is very particular about all these things. She makes me also do it. So she's like, hey, spray this to your hair. It reduces the hair fall. So I've been trying
so
that.
rosemary reduces hair fall.
Yeah. And
Does
this
it
is
work?
from 3 months I've been trying. It's
Okay.
worked.
Because in Bangalore, you just touch and it drops. Is it happening to you also?
Yes.
I hate it. I don't want to see it anymore.
But that's the thing. But this has helped me, and thanks to Apurva. So I have these two friends, like Neha Chinnappa. She's a famous bridal makeup artist. So when it comes to like the right foundation and skincare and everything, she's like, Asha, I think you should do this. You should do that. And then Apurva is all about try this feet mask, try this hair mask. So they try everything. They're like, okay, do this. It really works. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, I'll try.
I think every 5 years to 10 years, you see the difference. All the work that you're doing now, this is what I truly believe, Asha, that every decade of your life is about how you took care of yourself, how many medicines you did not have, how simple you kept, how less of makeup you put. All that makes a very big difference.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Great.
It does.
I loved it. Any other secret that you want to share so that our viewers can?
Nothing. As I said, minimal and effective. For hair, it's rosemary water, oiling once a week, and I take multivitamin. For skin, it's just like cleanse, tone, moisturize, sunscreen, and remove your makeup when you go to bed.
Very nice.
That's something that I
And you
like
also mentioned, I love talking about emotional health and how balanced you keep, right? And I love the fact that you said energy is the most important thing. So for your holistic being and your emotional health, is there anything you do? I know that you've talked about a lot of good attitude, building, knowing yourself. Anything else? Do you meditate? Do you any mantra that you follow on a daily basis?
I do journal, if that helps.
Lovely. Of course it helps, yeah.
So for me, if I find myself in a very chaotic space and I'm like, see, the best part is I understand when I'm swinging into my head and I'm like, Asha, snap out. Okay, I understand there's chaos. Fine, write it down. It helps me. Journaling does help me. 20-second just instant dance buster helps me when I'm cooking in the kitchen. Cooking is therapeutic. I love cooking.
Okay.
So that really helps me. And another thing that I've believed, the quality, like in terms of holistic or whatever, is you have to be authentic. Authenticity is the key. For me as an actor, if I can't be real to my character, then I can't connect. And as an entrepreneur, if I'm pitching the idea to somebody, if I can't be authentic, I can't connect. And ಒಳಗೊಂದು ಹೊರಗೊಂದು doesn't work. And probably this one trait helps me keep everything like holistic and real and just me. Like I don't have layers to myself. That has helped me.
And that just helps you live in a more simple way, I suppose. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, Guru. Nannallu problems ಇದೆ, ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೆ, ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Like accept na. When you accept, a lot of things become very easy in life.
Yeah, but they don't realize that everyone wants to pretend and show and keep an image.
That's one, that ಒಳಗೊಂದು ಹೊರಗೊಂದು, it doesn't work with me. I am okay. I know I have my flaws. I'm a flawed human being fumbling towards enlightenment. But I'm okay. I understand. And I also understand that ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
I love it. I love it. I love that. I love a lot of things you've said today. It's so nice to sort of get to know a person more up close and personal, right? It's a very, very different thing because you're also someone people see you so often on TV or in your movies. So it's good that they get to know you like this as well. So I've enjoyed my conversation a lot. And just a last question for you.
Yes.
What do you have to say to the girls who are like, in college, in their early careers? What message do you have, given that you've had a pretty fascinating ride, right, in your career and life so far?
I would say dare to dream, but most importantly, dare to do. Don't be stuck in your head. If you have an idea, if you feel passionate towards it, get moving, get going, get rolling. That's the most important thing. Like action speaks louder than anything. It's okay to fail. Then again, you get back up and you get going. That's about it. You are in a league of your own, and that's the most important thing. That's it.
Beautiful. I'm sure it'll be very valuable for all the girls who are listening.
I hope so.
And the
too.
last thing is, what do you have to say to your fans from our channel?
My fans, I mean, see, the only thing that I can express is gratitude. Because for us as actors or anybody who's a public persona, you are what you are is because of your fans and your people, right? It's a collective thing. Like it's very simple. Like okay, like ಓಡ್ತಾ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಲೈನ್ ವರೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಬೆನ್ ತಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಪ್ ಹೊಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ, ಹಗ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ ಜನರು ನಿಮ್ಮವರು ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ then what's the point? Now that's the real trophy, and I've been blessed with amazing set of fans and touchwood family and friends. So I'm just extremely grateful, and I feel very happy whenever I think about you guys. So thank you for all the love and support.
Thank you for coming, and I've enjoyed my conversation. A lot of surprises, and certainly my interaction with you has been very authentic.
Thank you so much.
Grounded, and it's very, very nice to have interacted.
Pleasure to be on your podcast. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.